West Des Moines demonstration green home's finally finished, and we want to kind of go over some things that happened during the process of the construction. It's a beautiful home. It's turned out to just be a very, very, very energy efficient, green, sustainable home. And so we want to talk with Dan and Linda, kind of bring things together and tie some loose ends up and find out maybe some things that we can change or things that we've learned so we can use on the next home. So let's go back and talk with Dan and Linda. Dan, Dan, what's some things that were maybe a little bit different on this home as far as maybe products or processes that you ran into during the construction?
Well, starting with the basement, we did a capillary break on top of the footing. Okay. We put 1-inch foam underneath the slab and 2-inch foam on the inside, which we usually put on the outside, and attached it with hat channels. Okay. And we also did a drainage mat on the foundation walls.
Okay, because I noticed when we drove up today, it's raining outside. It's been raining for weeks. And the lot next to us is basically a pond, and,
right.
and your basement, with the attention to detail that you did, is just bone dry.
Right. Yep.
So you got to be pretty proud of that.
It works.
Yep. Good. Good.
Now I know when we started out this process, we did what's called a charrette, where we just go through and try to get everybody in the project team together in one room and talk about the project. And we try to get that same process to go through in the construction phase. And I know there were some new processes and things that the subs were learning. How do you feel that went?
Well, I think it went pretty good for the most part. The framers, they had the hardest time adapting to the new framing techniques, but in the end it all worked out great.
I think the best thing I heard is that when you're looking at the next project, which will be right next door, there's a lot of these materials and processes that you're going to use that next home.
Sure, we're going to use the hardy plank siding again instead of our typical vinyl siding. We're going to do the 24-inch on center framing technique. Jury's still out on whether or not we use the foam sheeting.
Okay.
We're planning on using trainees for the framing project, so we want to make it as simple as possible for them.
Sure, which is something you have to consider.
Right.
Will you still be using, like a smart vapor retarder, like certainteed membrane on the inside? And
yeah, we'll still use the certainteed membrane, and in the attic we'll do the 2-inch foam flash on the attic floor before we put in our cellulose.
Okay, because that system really, looking at it, really turned out really well.
Really tightened up everything.
Sure did.
One of the key things in this project was the weekly team meetings. We found as we went through this project that it was important to keep abreast of the progress of the project, understand who the key people were that were doing activities that week, and make sure we had everything in place. That allowed us to also adjust if we had issues. Every season, take the opportunity to walk around your home. We can't stress enough the importance of maintenance. There's plenty of information on maintaining your home and your equipment. Things like in the fall, clean your gutters, make sure there's no leaks, pull things like leaves and trash away from your home, fix anything that is leaking as far as interior plumbing, make sure your furnace is clean. All those things, if you do on a regular basis, will extend the life and reduce the cost of operating your home.
There's a couple different things we set out to do on this project. One of the things we wanted to do is really use this as a comparison, like to like, for a typical construction home and a green construction home. And we've got a lot of data on both versions of that to show not only what the extra costs will be, but the savings in energy and maintenance. The education partner on this project was Center on Sustainable Communities. You can find out more about them on their website, which is www.icosc.com. They have information not only on this project, but other sources that you can find out about green building. The other component in this project was that this was to serve a low to moderate income family. We wanted to make sure that we made some good choices as far as integrating green construction, but being budget-minded. And I think we did a very good job of making sure that we're not only providing an energy-efficient home, a healthy indoor air quality, and a low-maintenance structure for them.